My nephew was on the floor, gasping, clutching his stomach like something was tearing him apart from the inside. Someone screamed, "What did you do to him?" I stood there holding 2 champagne glasses, my voice calm and cold. "I didn't do anything. I just gave him back his own drink." The room went silent except for Evan's choking sounds. His eyes locked on mine, wide with realization, before he collapsed completely. "My name is Maya. I'm 34 years old, and this is how my own nephew tried to murder me at my birthday party. I work as a medical researcher. Toxicology, specifically. It's not glamorous. I don't wear designer clothes or drive fancy cars. I live alone in a modest apartment on the edge of the city. Never married, no kids. Just me, my work, and a life I built carefully, brick by brick. I grew up in what you'd call a fractured blended family. My mom remarried when I was 12. Her new husband, Derek, brought a son into the picture. That son had a kid young. Too young. A boy named Evan. Evan's mom wasn't in the picture. Derek was barely there either. Always working, always busy, always making excuses. So guess who stepped in? Me. I was the responsible one. I helped raise Evan, paid for his school supplies when Derek forgot, picked him up from practice when no one else would, bailed him out of trouble more times than I can count. I wasn't the fun aunt, I wasn't rich or flashy, but I had something they didn't expect. I paid attention. Evan grew up spoiled, arrogant. The kind of kid who learned early that tears and tantrums got him whatever he wanted. My mom adored him. Derek defended every mistake. And Evan? He learned he could do no wrong. Until 3 months ago. That's when I came into a modest inheritance from my late biological father. About $150,000. Not a fortune. Not enough to retire on. But enough to make me comfortable. Enough to finally buy a house. Enough to breathe. And enough to make my family jealous. Evan started making snide remarks, asking for money, getting hostile when I said no. I'd been planning a quiet birthday dinner, just a few friends, low-key, but my mom insisted on throwing me a party. "You deserve it, honey. Let us celebrate you." I should have known something was wrong when Evan offered to help set up. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. Because what happened next changed everything. The party was at my mom's house. About 30 people. Family, mostly. A few friends. Evan showed up early. He was cheerful, helpful, smiling. I'd never seen him like that. "Hey, Aunt Maya, happy birthday. Let me handle the drink table, okay? You just relax." My friend Jenna raised an eyebrow. "Since when is he Mr. Helpful?" "I don't know," I whispered, "but I don't trust it." My mom overheard. "Maya, stop. He's finally growing up. Give him a chance." So I tried. The party went on. Music, laughter, cake. And then Evan brought me a champagne glass. "Aunt Maya, this one's special. I picked it out just for you." I took it, thanked him, but something felt off. The glass had a slight cloudiness at the bottom, different from the others. I set it down on the table, pretended to be distracted by someone calling my name. Evan's face shifted. Just for a second. Irritation flickered across it. He came back 10 minutes later. "Come on, Aunt Maya. You haven't touched your drink. It's your birthday. One toast won't kill you." Won't kill you. Those words hit me like ice water. Jenna leaned close. "That guy gives me the creeps. Why is he so obsessed with you drinking that specific glass?" "I don't know," I said quietly, "but I'm about to find out." I asked Jenna to create a distraction. She's good at that. Loud laugh, sudden story, everyone's attention on her. While Evan turned away, I swapped my glass with his. He'd set his down right next to mine on the drink table. Same champagne, same fizz, but mine had that strange cloudiness, His didn't. When Evan came back, he raised his glass high. "To Aunt Maya," he said, grinning. "May you get everything you deserve." I raised the glass I'd swapped, the clean one. "Right back at you, Evan." We drank. I took the smallest sip, barely wet my lips. Evan drained his glass. 5 minutes later, he started sweating. "You okay?" someone asked. "Yeah, He clutched his stomach. "I'm fine, just—" He stumbled. Then he fell. People screamed. Someone called 911. Derek shoved through the crowd. "What happened? What did you do?" "I didn't do anything," I said, my voice steady. "I swapped our drinks. Whatever he put in mine, he just drank himself." Gasps, murmurs, confusion. "You're insane," Derek shouted. "He wouldn't—" "Yes, he would," I interrupted. And he did. The paramedics arrived. Evan was conscious, barely, vomiting, shaking. I handed one of them the glass Evan had drunk from. "You'll want to test this," I said. "Let me take you back 3 months. The night my family found out about the inheritance. We were at Derek's house for dinner. My mom had cooked. Everyone was there. I'd kept the inheritance quiet for a few weeks, but my mom found out and insisted I share the news. Maya has something wonderful to tell you all," she said, beaming. I didn't want to, but I did. "My father passed away last year. He left me some money. Not a lot, but enough to help me buy a house." Silence. Then Evan's voice, sharp and bitter. "Why does she get anything? She's not even Dad's real sister." Derek laughed. Not a real laugh, a dismissive one. "Evan, come on." But then Derek turned to me. "Actually, Maya, since you brought it up, Evan's been wanting to start a business. Maybe you could help him out? Just a loan?" I kept my face neutral. "I'm saving for a house, Derek. I can't." Evan's chair screeched back. "Of course you can't. You're so selfish." He stormed out. My mom sighed. "Maya, he's struggling. You've always had it easier." I stared at her. "I've always had it easier?" "You know what I mean." I left that night feeling sick. 2 months later, it got worse. Family brunch, a restaurant downtown. Evan showed up drunk. He stood at the table, swaying, pointing at me. "She's hoarding that money while the rest of us suffer." People at other tables turned to look. "Evan, sit down," Derek said, but he didn't move to stop him. "No, she's not even real family. Why does she get anything?" I stood, grabbed my purse. "I'm leaving." Evan followed me to the parking lot, screaming, calling me selfish, greedy, fake. Strangers stared. Derek finally came out, but not to stop Evan, to tell me. "Just give him some space. You know how sensitive he is." I drove home shaking. My mom called later. "He's just upset, honey. Try to understand." I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just said, "Okay, Mom." 1 week before my birthday, Evan showed up at my apartment, unannounced, pounding on the door. I opened it. "What do you want?" "I need $50,000. I blinked. "What?" "You heard me. A loan. I'll pay you back." "No, Evan." His face darkened. "I'm not asking anymore. I'm telling you. You're going to give me that money, or you're going to regret it. Get out. Who do you think they'll believe, Maya? You or me? Get out, or I'm calling the police." He stepped closer. Close enough that I could smell the alcohol on his breath. "Go ahead," he sneered. "Call them." He left, but 20 minutes later I found a note slipped under my door, handwritten, short. "Accidents happen all the time." I stared at it for a long time. Then I took a photo, drove to the bank, put the original in a safe deposit box, because I'm not stupid, and because I know how toxicology works. What my family didn't know was that I'd been documenting everything. After the parking lot incident, I started recording conversations. Legally, I live in a one-party consent state. The threatening visit to my apartment? My doorbell camera caught it all. Every word, every sneer. The note? Photographed. Stored. Documented. I also noticed something strange. Evan had been asking me questions about my work. Odd questions. Are there substances that don't show up on tests? How do you detect poisoning? What's the difference between a fatal dose and just making someone sick? At the time, I thought he was just curious. But after the note, I started to suspect something darker. I'm a toxicology researcher. I recognize patterns, symptoms, behaviors, and I knew my nephew was planning something. I didn't know what. But I wasn't going to let him succeed. So I bought a small body camera, the kind you can hide in jewelry. I wore it to my birthday party on a necklace, just in case. At the hospital, chaos. Evan was stabilized but kept for observation. Police arrived, took statements. Derek and my mom immediately defended Evan. "This is a misunderstanding," Derek shouted. "Maya's paranoid. She's always had it out for him," my mom added, her voice breaking. I stayed calm. "I have evidence," I said. "All of it." The officers looked skeptical, but they listened. Jenna arrived. She'd followed the ambulance. "I saw the whole thing," she told the police. "He was obsessed with her drinking that specific glass. It was creepy." I called my lawyer, Patrick. We'd been friends since college. He arrived within the hour. "Don't say anything else without me," he said. Meanwhile, the hospital ran a toxicology screen on Evan's blood. The results came back fast. Rohypnol, high levels, a sedative, a date rape drug, in high enough doses, especially mixed with alcohol. It's lethal. The police searched Evan's car in the parking lot. They found an empty pill bottle, prescription label with my name on it. Forged. Derek's face went white. Someone must have planted it. "Dad, I didn't..." Evan started, but a detective cut him off. "Son, I'd stop talking if I were you." My mom collapsed into a chair, sobbing. "Why would he do this? He loved you." I looked at her. Really looked at her. "No, Mom. He loved the idea of my money, and when he couldn't have it, he decided I shouldn't either." A detective pulled me aside. "Ms. Maya, if you hadn't swapped those drinks, the dose he prepared would have been fatal. Given your weight and the alcohol combination, you wouldn't have survived." The words hit me like a punch. My own nephew tried to kill me. Patrick squeezed my shoulder. "You saved your own life, and you did it legally." 2 days later, Derek demanded a family meeting. Evan had been arrested, released from medical care into police custody. Derek wanted to clear this up. I agreed to meet, but only with Patrick present. We met in a hospital conference room. Derek, my mom, a detective, Patrick, and Evan, via video call from holding. Derek started immediately. "Evan made a mistake, but this is family. Drop the charges." "A mistake?" I said. "He tried to murder me." "I didn't," Evan shouted from the screen. "She's lying." I didn't say anything. I just pulled out my phone, connected it to the room's screen, and played the doorbell camera footage. Evan's voice, clear as day. "You're going to regret this. I'm not asking anymore. Who do you think they'll believe, you or me?" Evan's face on the video call went pale. Derek stammered. He was angry. "People say things..." I played the next video. Body camera footage from the party. Evan handing me the glass. "This one's special. I picked it out just for you." Evan insisting. "One toast won't kill you." The swap. His collapse. The room went completely silent. Evan panicked. "She set me up. She knew I was just trying to..." He stopped. Realized what he'd almost said. The detective leaned forward. "Trying to what?" Evan's public defender, a tired-looking woman who'd just been assigned to him, put a hand on the camera. My client has nothing further to say. I stood, looked directly at the screen, at Evan. For 3 months, you made my life hell because I wouldn't hand over money I earned. You threatened me, stalked me, and when I still said no, you decided to drug me at my own party. The hospital confirmed the dose would have killed me, Evan. My voice shook, but I kept going. I spent years protecting you, raising you, believing in you, and you tried to kill me for money. Derek stood, desperate. He's my son. I turned to him. And I was your sister. Where were you when he was threatening me? When he screamed at me in parking lots? You told me I was overreacting. Derek had no answer. My mom sobbed. I didn't know. You didn't want to know, I said quietly. The detective cleared his throat. Mr. Evan will be formally charged with attempted murder. Evan screamed through the video. You're going to regret this. His lawyer muted him. Patrick spoke for the first time. Any further threats will be added to the charges. I looked at Evan one last time. I hope it was worth it. Then I walked out. 6 months later, Evan pleaded guilty to attempted manslaughter. The charge was reduced from murder as part of a plea deal. He was sentenced to 8 years. Derek hasn't spoken to me since the trial. He sent one text. You destroyed my son. I blocked him. My mom tried to reconcile. She came to my apartment crying. I should have believed you. I'm so sorry. I let her in. Made tea. We sat in silence for a while. I need time, Mom, I finally said. You chose him over me every single time. That doesn't just go away. She nodded, tears streaming. I understand. Maybe someday, I said. But not now. She left quietly. I used part of my inheritance to move to a new city. Fresh start, new apartment. Same job, different location. I still work in toxicology, but now I also volunteer teaching self-defense and safety. Awareness for women. Jenna visits often. She's still my closest friend. You're the bravest person I know, she told me last week. I laughed. I don't feel brave. I feel tired, but I also feel free. I don't attend family events anymore. I built a chosen family instead. Friends who respect me, colleagues who value me, people who would never ask me to set myself on fire to keep them warm. Last month, I was unpacking the last box in my new apartment. I found old family photos at the bottom, holidays, birthdays, Evan as a kid, me holding him. I stared at them for a long time. Then I threw them away, because I finally understood something. For years, I thought family meant loyalty no matter what. But real family doesn't try to kill you. Real family doesn't choose money over your life. And real family doesn't ask you to forgive the unforgivable. Their love was always conditional. But mine for myself doesn't have to be. If this story shook you, you're not alone. Thousands of you have messaged me about toxic family members who crossed unforgivable lines. Here's what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is a safe space for survivors who refuse to stay silent. Drop your location in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know where my community is watching from. And if you've ever had to choose your safety over family loyalty, share your story. You don't owe anyone your trauma, but you deserve to be heard. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay strong, and never let anyone make you doubt your worth.